Hello, 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 Chris Nelson. I know this is my personal page. As many of you probably know, I have been locked out of my actual page, my Facebook page. I haven't been around for, let's see how long this has been now. It's been just over 2 weeks. So I have just under 2 weeks left. So hang tight. I will be back on soon, hopefully. We are going to be looking at sharing this to a couple of groups here. So if you can share this, I would certainly appreciate that. I'm just going to be going through quickly to make sure that we are hitting all the areas that I want to make sure we have things covered the way we certainly want to have them covered. But obviously the reason that I am on tonight has to do with the fact that, we have chances of snowfall, who's going to see it, how much you're going to get. Not everyone will get it. We know that. But just something to, as always, as we must do, keep in mind. Let's see. North Iowa. Oops. Nope. I want to search for something. North Iowa. There we go. Share. Just give me 1 second here if folks don't mind. Okay. So what are we talking about here? We are talking about snowfall, heavy stuff. I mean, take a look at this map that I just pulled up. This is basically adjacent from Highway 20 in North Iowa South. Winter storm warnings in play for places like if you go to Council Bluff along I-80, that's going to run into Des Moines, going north in 380 to Cedar Rapids, Davenport, and then north. And as far north, it looks like as it does look like places like Britt, Garner, Mason City, Charles City, they're all under the winter weather advisory. So we'll look at that here coming up. But I'm going to kind of look at just a broad view here. And again, the winter storm warning, obviously you're looking at something that's a little more extreme, higher amounts of snowfall. And you can see some of these heavy snowfall rates this afternoon or this evening that could be exceeding 2 inches and happening right now. So there's going to be an extremely sharp cutoff in this area. And I know the Weather Service has been having problems with this, and I don't blame them because these high res are keeping it a little bit farther south. And the ones that aren't exactly as high res and as detailed, they are keeping it and going a little bit more north. Now, if you are in Mason City, if you're in Algona, Decorah, Charles City, and especially if you're south, if you're in Cedar Rapids, if you're in Ames, if you're in Des Moines, let me know, what you're seeing right now. But it looks like, at least currently, it does not look like we have a heck of a lot of snow falling quite yet. They are mentioning a very sharp cutoff along Highway 30. I think it's going to be probably more closer to Highway 20. But again, you look around the Des Moines Metro and west along I-80 between Council Bluff and Des Moines, and down in the extreme southern portions of Iowa, that's where things get mighty significant. And they're looking at that major impact for the potential ice and especially heavy snowfall that could be blowing around, extensive property damage. They're saying as well. Life-saving actions may be needed. That's the major, and that's encompassing I-80 south, and this is going back into Omaha, Lincoln, and portions of Nebraska as well. So more things to consider. High winds expected, high confidence of northeasterly winds between 15 and 25 miles an hour. Could see some of those gusts blowing above 30 miles an hour. Let's focus in on this area here. And I want to look at, the wording for places like Garner, Britt, Kanawha, Mason City, Clear Lake, and even as far east as, we'll say, Greene, Shell Rock, Waverly, Parkersburg, Charles City. So they're expecting 2 to 4 inches of snowfall. Plan on slippery conditions. This runs until noon on Tuesday. Blowing snow could be possible, reducing that visibility, causing some blowing and drifting. Let's head on over to the La Crosse Weather Service, and they do have, again, Mason City, Charles City under that winter weather advisory. This is what they are predicting. Very sharp cutoff expected with some of these snowfall totals. It could see anywhere from 1 to 4 in Charles City. Same thing as mentioned in Mason City and Clear Lake and Britt and Garner. Heading farther north, Osage, St. Ansgar, Lake Mills, Northwood, Manly, you may be around that trace to an inch. Could go as far north as I-90, but if you're north of I-90, looking much, much less of a chance for any of that snowfall. That will be above, I think, a dusting to an inch of snowfall. So let's bring this up to speed. And let's look at our high-res computer model. 0Z is the newest, and this one's going to go a little bit farther into the future. That's why I wanted to bring this up. Let's bring on. All right, so let's lower this just a bit so everyone can see it. And look at the cutoff. So this is trying to get it a little bit closer. And in fact, if you can look at some of the blues, very heavy stuff this afternoon and early this evening. And then darting south of Highway 18, moderate snowfall. North of that will be very light, and then swirls out of here by tomorrow evening. Again, winter weather advisory runs until noon on Tuesday for a chunk of extreme, at least the southern portions of North Iowa. Snowfall totals from this model, I mean, there's the sharp cutoff, and this model is indicating 1/3 of an inch in Mason City and less into places like Manly, Northwood, Lake Mills, Buffalo Center, Albert Lee, Austin, and Rochester showing nothing. But you get some of these totals, and you're not done with the snowfall. There could be additional 6 to 10 inches that's already fallen into places like Des Moines, Boone, Nevada, Cedar Rapids, Waterloo. I mean, look at this very sharp cutoff along Highway 20 that I was mentioning. Let's look at the wrap. This is a different computer model, but still high res, showing pretty much the same activity and maybe a little bit more snowfall for places like Mason City, Clear Lake, and Charles City. But I mean, if you're in Waterloo, you're staring at 10 inches of snowfall, and you're staring at 7 in Cedar Rapids and Iowa City, an additional 7 inches right now, it looks like, for Des Moines, which has already picked up significant snowfall. So that's the latest. I mean, my goodness, you're talking about another snowfall event that has just brushed North Iowa, southern Minnesota, and as you look at portions of Wisconsin as well, yeah, you're going to be hit by right along I-94 and south. I think we'll probably have the highest totals if we look at the HER. And you have that lakefront, and you're going to have that easterly and northeasterly component. Still maybe some open water this time of year, as temperatures have been much milder in January and December. So this open water is going to aid to lake effect snowfall that could be brushing most of the eastern counties. I mean, you're looking from Cook County, Waukegan County in northeastern Illinois to Kenosha, Racine, Milwaukee County, Ozaukee County, Sheboygan County, and Manitowoc County, all picking up between 6 and 10 inches of snowfall. So this could be some heavy stuff. And then a little batch here from Madison to Dubuque, and then westward that could go as far west as Fort Dodge, could pick up an additional 6 to 10 inches of snowfall. So this is certainly some heavy squalls of snowfall expected. Getting some good evenings. If you have some comments, please let me know. What type of snowblower do you use? I use my own snowblower. By the way, I got to give out a shout out. I got about 40 people on here. A couple of things I'll talk about briefly, but shout out to Alpha Roofing Company. They're our sponsors here for this, and I certainly appreciate that. It's been kind of a weird last 2 weeks with my Facebook page down for a reason Facebook won't necessarily tell me, but they say that I did not give descriptive authorization to a weather video, which is a copyright infringement to their policy. So I emailed, and they would not give me any reason. So I just kind of left it alone. But I will be back on February 10th on my Facebook page, on my actual work Facebook page. So that'll be exciting. We will be conducting our podcast Mavericks. That will be back, and excited to have on two people for sure we're going to be having on, maybe the first 2 days. In fact, I'm going to have on Ken Emerson from Emerson's on Main, who's got a couple of stores in around North Iowa. And I will have, the boys from Alpha Roofing Company we're going to be having on, Willie, Jason, and Derek. They are the owners of Alpha Roofing, and we'll be talking with them as well. And obviously a contributor and a sponsor to both what we do for Facebook, for snowfall, for severe weather, but also a big sponsor for the podcast. So thank you to them. Yeah, this is going to be a major one. If you are in southern Minnesota, extreme North Iowa, and central and northeastern Wisconsin, you have lucked out again. Not expecting anything major for snowfall from this event, although you may see an inch or two, it looks like, depending upon how far north this tracks and how much dry air we're actually going to see in North Iowa from this system. I could see anything from really maybe a half an inch to maybe a couple inches in Mason City and Clear Lake and Britt and Garner, and maybe as far north as Manly and Charles City and into Decorah as well. But again, if you are listening from Cedar Rapids, if you are in Iowa City, if you are in Ames, if you are in Fort Dodge, if you are in Des Moines and anywhere in the Des Moines metro, you will see heavy snowfall. That is going to be likely. And now the interesting kicker, if you are in around the Milwaukee and Chicago metro, we will have that easterly and northeasterly wind as the slow-moving system pumps in the easterly and northeasterly component, which is going to be, absolutely a foundation and a clear setup for lake effect snowfall and lake enhancement, which will dive into Cook County, Waukegan County, maybe even the western suburbs of Chicago, and then even the western suburbs and along the lakefront of the Milwaukee area. So probably not a ideal situation for them. All right, 8:12. If you have any questions, otherwise we're going to jump off. I've taken up enough of your time. Thank you again to Alpha Roofing for being a sponsor of this broadcast, and we will have more updates as we need them, and we'll see if we can get hit by a snowstorm one of these times. All right, folks, take care. God bless.